What's up, guys? Austin with Overkill Wash Equipment. Come with me, let me show you how to do the high pressure fuel pump swap on your IGX800 motor. You are gonna need a couple things for this repair. Zip ties as always, crimp clamps, end crimps for the clamps, some snips, a pick or a flathead screwdriver, and a 10mm with some attachments and a drill. Let me show you guys. So right behind your oil cooler here is your high pressure fuel pump. We've got two 10mm bolts here we're gonna remove. How to grab an extension for this trailer. Now this should be free. You can slide that out of the way. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more 10mm bolts here. One holding on that bracket. That one I'm just going to slide out of the way. Then we've got 3 more down here. They all are the same length there, as you can see. All right, guys, so after we got our bolts out of the pump here, we're gonna go ahead and pull this out of the way. You'll see you've got some auxiliaries on top we need to remove. For this clamp right here, you're just gonna push in and lift. Then we'll do our injector clamp right here. These are very brittle, so be careful. You may want to pull the line in towards the pump to release some tension and pop up. Once it's lifted like that, and you can pull that off. There's probably gonna be some fuel that leaks out of it, so just be careful. Then we have our other line right here that pops off. And then we've got this clamp right here. With this clamp, what you wanna do is grab a pair of snips or something, and you're going to want to carefully rotate it to get to this lip here. You can wedge one side of your pliers or cutters down here, the other on top of that little clamp, and then pull up just like that. That's all you need to do for that in order to get that off. Now you can kind of spread this open just like so to remove that, and then pull this off. Be careful, there still might be fuel in that line as well. All right, so now you're gonna take your new high pressure fuel pump here. This one comes with an adapter piece. So we'll do the adapter first. This basically plugs into the OEM harness like so, clicks in nice and well, and then this part connects to your new high pressure fuel pump, just like that. So you wanna make sure that's done. Then you're going to go through and start connecting your plumbing. So we'll do the injector line first, push the blue clamp down. We'll push this line on here, just like so. We'll take our end snips here. This is an 11.3mm clamp, by the way. Take our end snips, rotate it down so we can get a good bite on it here. And clamp like so. Does not have to be crazy tight. You do want it to be snug. That's pretty good. Then we'll take our last hose right here, plop that on. Then we start the reassembly process. All right, so now that we have our fuel pump reconnected and everything good there, we're gonna start the reassembly process. So now we're gonna take our 3 bolts, hand start the threads first to make sure they don't cross thread. This back one here, I'm going to use the drill for some assistance. Once those are hand threaded, we'll snug them down, put the drill on one. That'll make a funny blooper. Yeah, it should be all right. Nope. Oh, from the seats? Okay, hold on. Could be wrong. Oh, there we go.
There you go. Gotta make sure it seats.
On these screws, they have a little part that protrudes out right below the bolt right there. You want to make sure it sits well inside of the crevice. Otherwise, you may crack that plastic. See how that slides right in? So now that's good there. This one right here will snug up as well. Boom. All three of those are secured now. We can push our oil cooler bracket back over. Tighten that down. Take our oil cooler bolt and bushing. Again, hand thread, tighten that in to start. Same thing up here. Once those are snugged up, then you can tighten that bracket down that holds these two bolts together right here. Boom. Now you've got your high pressure fuel pump reassembled. You can clear the work area and give it a test fire. Reconnect your battery terminals here. All right, so a little bit of backstory on this machine. This one currently has 1,900 hours on it. It's a lot of hours for an 800 without really having major issues. So symptoms for this machine, when it came, customer said it wouldn't start, wouldn't fire, wouldn't work, nothing. So we went through, tested out in person right when he was here, would not fire. Sounded like a fuel issue, but there's a lot of different symptoms with these motors that can contribute to that. So the one thing we knew for sure is the battery was no good on it. Put a fresh battery on it, retested it, same thing. So then the next diagnostic was to check oil levels, make sure everything's good there. That was all good. Topped it off. It was a smidge low, but it wasn't enough to trigger the light. No lights on the computer down here. So then the next thing was to check the fuel. So looked at the fuel filter, swapped the fuel filter out, no change. Next thing would be examining the fuel pump. Fuel pump was drawing, it was drawing weakly for the low pressure. So once we changed that out, it was getting better fuel now coming in here, but not to start the motor. So then the next step would be the high pressure fuel pump. So basically opened up the air box, took off these bolts here to get to the injector, pulled the injector line off, primed the key, started the key, no fuel, like literally a drop every 5 seconds coming out. So that indicated that the injector was fine, that there wasn't enough fuel getting to the injector, so it wasn't a clog. So got to that point, decided to test the high pressure fuel line down here. Low on pressure, not enough fuel, whole 9 yards. So that was how we got to replacing the high pressure fuel pump and basically rolling that out. The other way that you're able to test some of this stuff too in the field is if you have a bottle of brake cleaner, starting fluid, something like that. You can open the air box, pop your filter off, because sometimes that stuff will dissolve the filter housing here, or the mesh. You can spray a little spurt down inside of the intake, click the key over. If it runs, it's typically a good indicator that it will run, it's just not getting fuel. So do that at your own risk, but that is a good test to check it in the field. So got the new high pressure fuel pump installed today, fired right up. Here's your proof. 1,900 hours, idles perfectly fine. All right guys, I hope you enjoyed the video on how to swap out your high pressure fuel pump on your IGX800 machines. We know these can be pretty finicky, and that's why we're trying to push more videos out to help you guys stay working longer. Over 89% of the viewers on this channel are not subscribed, so you're not gonna be up to date when we release new videos like this that might just save your ass one day out there in the field. So hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers. We're gonna be doing a cool giveaway. It's not gonna be a Blackwing, but it might be something you'd wanna carry around. So feel free to subscribe. Leave us a comment down below if there's anything you hate about the video, because there's always one of those. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.